Alright guys, good morning. CodaBoy32 here. Check it out. Having a cup of coffee out here in my shop and getting ready to start a couple new little projects. One being is this guy right here. This is going to be a new 3-gun competition rifle, one utilizing the Ace skeletonized stock. Also, I've got this nice ambidextrous charging handle that was provided to me by Palmetto State Army. I appreciate it, guys. Took care of me on the charging handle deal. Also, this nice rail that was given to me by El Tendo Fabrizio. I'm hoping this will work out with a nice competition barrel, but as the weeks go by, we're actually going to put this thing together and see how it runs. Also, this Bravo B3 handguard, it was given to me by Nolan. Thanks, Nolan. Finally got around to using this thing. Alright guys, well anyway, the purpose of this video is we're going to talk about Florida. Now, they put together this House and the Senate, both voted, I guess, on the Senate Bill 7026 that was passed by the Senate. Now it's sitting on Governor Rick Scott's desk. And if you're not familiar with what's going on, I'll go over real quickly what the bill includes, and then I want to talk about the individual things of what my thoughts are, and then I would like for you to put in the comment section down below what your thoughts are. So, number one, raise the age to purchase any firearm to 21 from 18. Number one. Number two was a 3-day waiting period with some exceptions. Not exactly sure what those exceptions are, but they are there. Number three, ban bump stocks, and you pretty much know my standpoint on that. Give an inch, take a mile. Regardless if you think that they're useless or whatever, the problem is you give an inch, they take a mile, and you got nothing for it. Number four, weapon seizure from those who have been involuntarily committed or for those who are considered a threat. And we're going to talk about that real briefly. And number five, my favorite actually, and most useful part of this bill would be to arm some teachers who volunteer. Not forced teachers, but volunteer. Full-time classroom teachers must have had law enforcement experience, military or JRTC teachers who pretty much were retired military guys. Okay. Let's talk about the first one. They raised the legal age to purchase a firearm. Now here's the key thing. Purchase a firearm, not possess a firearm. We don't know if that's going to be added in the amendment. One of the viewers sent me an email and said there's 231 amendments to this thing. So what my thoughts are is, here's my thing. First of all, you have an 18-year-old who has the ability to, one, join the military, go to combat, and die for his country. Yet you're taking away his ability to purchase a firearm to protect himself and or his family, because keep in mind, 18 to 21, there's 18, 19, 20, 21. Some people may even have a family or children. So you're taking away that person's right to go out and purchase a firearm to protect his family. Now, I'm going to be in a debate later on with a gentleman named Mike B, who sent me a big, long question. It's pretty much a bunch of gotcha questions. And first of all, Mike B, I was 16 years old in 1986, so I'm not sure if I was thinking about anything other than chasing girls at high school and racing cars. Secondly, Second Amendment is more than just a militia. It's the right to bear arms to protect yourself from all the crazy people in this country. But I know what you're thinking. There's no crazy people, and if I didn't have a gun, they wouldn't either, which is absolutely asinine. Why don't y'all concentrate on taking the guns away from the bad guys instead of the law-abiding citizens? That's my response. But we're going to do an actual sit-down chat with you, sir. All right, so you're taking the ability of a person to protect himself between the ages of 18 to 21. Let me ask you a question. And you guys let me know if you're down there in Florida. Does this also take away the person's right? Say, for instance, if I live down there and I want to gift my son a .22 rimfire rifle when he's 12 or 13 years old, because that's what I grew up with. I was killing squirrels when I was 14, 12 years old. I mean, that's what we did. And are you going to make possession of a firearm from 18 to 20 a felon? I know a lot of the other states, that's what they're doing. I know Illinois, I think it is, you have 90 days to either get rid of the firearm, or if you get caught with it, you're going to be a felon. Thanks, Illinois. Way to turn your law-abiding citizens into felons with your just ludicrous laws. Absolutely asinine. All right, a 3-day waiting period with some exceptions. I'd like to know what those exceptions are. It's probably either law enforcement or if you've got to carry concealed carry. I know in North Carolina, we don't have a waiting period. I don't have to reapply for a separate permit for each firearms. And speaking of North Carolina, Roy Cooper, our governor, our legislation knows that we have a lot of gun-clinging, Bible-thumping individuals in this state. If they were to make a move to further the gun control laws that we already have in place in North Carolina, that would be the end of time in service as a civil duty person. Bye-bye. There's not enough people in the big cities to keep you in office. Period. Banning of bump stocks. Well, we know what banning of bump stocks, that was pretty much all over the country, and that's a big old thing. I don't care if you think that these things have no tactical advantage. Well, I agree with you, they don't. But unfortunately what happened is everybody jumped on the ban the bump stock wave, or trigger cranks. What that did is it opened Pandora's box. It opened up the box to further legislation on, well, what else can we get? And that's where it started. Once you open up the door, they take a mile. You can't deny it that they did. It's unfortunate, but that's the fact. I'm not a big fan of bump stocks. I really don't see a tactical advantage other than to spew rounds, as many rounds down something as you possibly can. It's a waste of money. But that's what it did. It opened up the hinges. They oiled the hinges for gun control. And unfortunately, we got enough nutcases in this country who will use them, and it makes me sick to my stomach. And all you people who think we pro Second Amendment people are all for everybody having guns, I'm not. There's nutcases out there that have no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's crazy people out there that really shouldn't be allowed to have firearms. Which leads me on to the second thing, or number 4, weapon seizure from those who have been committed, involuntary, or are a known threat. Okay, so let's talk about things. I don't care how crazy a person is, they are owed, under the Constitution and our Bill of Rights, due process. Period. Once you take that away, what else are we going to do? I mean, what else are we going to do? Due process has been established to protect our citizens from an overly aggressive society. So if you got somebody who's crazy, obviously if someone has been judged mental and they are being placed involuntary in watch, well, that's a person we need to be concerned about, because somebody has made a judgment on them. Okay, they've been owed their due process. However, the person who has been deemed a threat also is entitled, under our Bill of Rights, due process. Am I for due process? Am I for this measure? I think that if there's a person out there who has been deemed an actual threat to our society, absolutely, they need to be looked at, but they are owed that due process. Do we need to provide some type of expedited measures to give them this? Yes, they are owed it. If you want to push forward something of this nature, you owe that person their civil rights. Period. Representation. Period. Now, under this law, if you've had firearms taken away, the period of time frame, you can get it back within 30 days, which I like. Now, there's, not that I like it, but in any case, there's other states that go, well, we're sorry, we actually accidentally destroyed your firearms during the process you were waiting for those. That's a real big one. All right, moving on, we're going to talk about teachers. Would arm some qualified, voluntary individuals who work within a school system, okay? It doesn't force teachers to arm themselves. That's the key word. These are volunteers. Let's face it, folks, there are some dangerous individuals out there, and all they want to do is cause harm, and they don't care what they do or who they hurt. My children, your wives, your aunts, uncles, grandparents, they will figure out a way of doing this. The best way to prevent it, be proactive. Now, there's a lot of people out there that go, oh, the last thing we want to do is put guns in the schools. Well, I'm all for an individual who's gone through the proper training, 144 hours, basically a deputized individual to help provide security measures in the schools. That I'm all for. Just handing out guns, to individuals who are working in the school system, nah, maybe not so much. But have an organized method in which this will be done, yeah. It gives people a fighting chance. Also, it creates an environment that tells these nutcases out there that this is no longer a soft target. Enter at your own risk. And it goes again. These gun control people, they want to take our ability away to protect our families and ourselves in the guise of using the Second Amendment against us. Might be your prime example. You are trying to interpret and push the interpretation, your interpretation of the Second Amendment on the rest of us. A well-regulated militia. Well, I'm all about well-regulation. Is that not what you believe in, Cody Boy? Well, sure. But I also believe in the right to bear arms regardless, to protect my family, my individuals, my friends, me. And if you want to take that away, I think you're best suited in getting off the nutcases out of the road, out of the country. It's not a matter of getting guns off the street. Let's get the nutcases off the street. The people we have to worry about, the criminals. I do believe there's already laws in place for that. But unfortunately, our government's not worried about enforcing the laws that are on the books, but creating new laws to hurt the people who actually observe them. When you take a sanctuary city, obviously taking away federal law and creating your own laws. Screw the Constitution, screw the Bill of Rights. That's what you're telling everybody. Illinois, you're the biggest victim of that. Maryland, you're the biggest crime. Unbelievable. How's that? How's your big-time gun control working out for Baltimore? Let me know. Because your criminals, they don't care. All right, I'm done ranting. If you followed along and you're here to now, put your comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because we're going to do this probably about 3 or 4 times a week. I'm passionate about the Second Amendment, but I'm even more passionate about being able to have the ability to protect my family, my friends, myself. And when people want to take that away from me, it tells me that they are cowards. They don't want to fight crime. They want to take the ability from law-abiding citizens such as myself and turn me into a felon through their unjust laws. I'm Cody Boy 32. Turn the flag around. Support the red, white, and blue. God bless America. God bless his men, women in uniform 24/7 for our freedom. Freedom is not free. You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. Cody Boy 32 out.